Hello YouTube, I'm back with episode 4. Today we have 2 more puzzles with lots of options to discuss, but first I'd like to take a moment to discuss what's going on with the channel. If you want to go right to the puzzles, no worries, skip right to 522 and enjoy. Anyhow, I've been working on creating these videos faster. Ideally I'd like to do 1 a week. I'd love to do 2 a week, but it's basically impossible as it stands. Let me explain. I do these videos with Blender. Ever heard of Blender? It's similar to the software big CGI studios use. Studios like Pixar and DreamWorks. The difference is they have server farms and supercomputers to render their graphics on. I have a mid-range gaming PC. You might be shocked to find out these videos have around 24 hours of render time for each one. That's 24 hours of my computer being totally tied up and running at full speed. I've been trying to get the render time down. I'm not sure if anyone noticed, but the quality on the animations has steadily been dropping every episode. All of the stills were high quality, but I had to turn down the quality on the animations. If you notice, the animations in episode 3 are very grainy. Ugh. I had to lower the quality just to get it to the 24-hour mark. Since the last episode, I've made some progress though. I was able to keep the render time at 24 hours, but I got the quality back up. No more grainy animations. Yes! But why use Blender, you might ask? Well, honestly, it's the only way I know how to do something like this. Despite these flashy looking videos, I'm basically an amateur at video creation. Also, outside of the render time, Blender is great for this. It's free. The animation tools are really slick. Animating those arrows, though a bit tedious, is surprisingly easy to do. There's also the fact that it looks fantastic. So moving away from Blender is probably not an option. I'm still working on it, but the main option from here is new hardware. For around $400 to $500 invested in a new video card, I could probably cut that render time in half. So that's something I'm looking into. Either way, let me know what you think about the graphics this week. And on to the next thing I've been working on. Funding. Yeah, this thing doesn't need to make much money, but it needs to make a little, or else it just really doesn't make any sense. Like I mentioned, there's 24 hours of render time where my computer's tied up and gobbling electricity. There's also the time it takes to do the voiceover, creating the animations, finding music, editing. These simple little videos take a surprising amount of work to produce. The goal of this channel is simple. It's to spread the gospel about One Pocket. More people should be playing this game. If you'd like to support this cause, I need a little help from you. I have some ideas that aren't just begging strangers on the internet for money. Okay, well, one of my ideas is begging, but we'll get to that. First, would you buy a high-quality print of my table that was laminated and came with 2 dry erase markers? I know I've seen notepads with pool tables printed on them before, but I've never seen that was laminated so you could use it with a dry erase marker. I think that would be neat. I think I would use that, especially as like a team captain or something. I think that would be cool. Would you pay $5 to $10 for something like that if it supported the channel? How about a high-quality poster for your pool room or man cave? I could have high-quality posters made from any of the layouts in my videos. It'd be a bit more complicated if you wanted a layout I hadn't covered yet, but either way, would you pay $10 or $15 for a poster of a pool table with the balls laid out in a certain position? Would that be cool? The prices aren't set in stone. I'm really just brainstorming at the moment. I don't even have a store set up. If you're interested in either of these, hit me up at peglegwilliam@gmail.com if you'd like to support the channel that way. And now for the begging. Well, not really. Maybe more asking for a tip. The problem with YouTube is that it's basically impossible for a small channel to survive off ad revenue alone. If you have millions of views a month, sure. But let's be honest, my little One Pocket videos are never going to hit those numbers. Currently, these videos are not monetized, so you don't have to waste your time on ads. I would like to keep it that way. Besides, the $1.50 I would have made so far just isn't worth the hassle. Ever heard of Patreon? I'm not sure if you're an avid YouTube fan as I am, but many of my favorite channels are funded by Patreon. It allows users to support their favorite content creators by making small donations per video or per month. Are these videos worth $1 a piece to you? Or maybe even 25 cents a video? I hope they are. And the great thing about Patreon is if I take a month off and don't make any videos, it doesn't charge you anything. I'm not planning on taking any time off, but if it happens, you aren't charged for content that you aren't receiving. I think that's cool. What do you get out of the deal, you may ask? Any current patron gets their name in the credits at the end of the video. Want your name in lights for cheap? Here's your chance. At $10, I'll send you one of the previously mentioned laminated prints with the dry erase markers. To finish this up, I'm not looking to get rich off this, but I'm currently making $0 an hour, so anything would be an improvement from here. If you like these videos and would like to see more, click that Patreon link in the description. Thanks to everyone who made it this far. Here comes your puzzles. We are back with another shot from the 2013 One Pocket US Open. Bustamante is on the hill 3-2 playing Scott Frost. Neither player has a ball yet. It's Scott's shot, and you can see his pocket is highlighted in green. This is puzzle 1. What do you think Scott will play from here? While the 360 is playing, I'd like to remind everyone that there are links to the shots in the video description. Make sure to check those out when you finish watching. I wish I could put them in my video, but I'd rather not deal with the copyright issues. So this is my solution. Check the description. Well, do you have it figured out? If not, now it's time to pause and take a further look. Option 1 is the standard kick-up table. Not a bad play, requires some great cue ball control, still not the best shot. Here we have option 2, caroming off the 5 to try to remove the 7 from his opponent's hole. I don't particularly like this shot for a number of reasons, but mainly because I don't like unnecessarily knocking a ball away from my hole. Why spend all game hurting them to your hole if you're just going to knock them away all willy-nilly? And there's a better shot than that. How good is this shot? He massays between the 10 and 5, kicks the 7 back to his hole, and stuffs the cue in the stack, all in one shot. Look where the cue ball lands. Amazing. This is a really cool shot. You'll see here I have another example where I took the massé out of it. Give this a try at your local pool room. It's much easier than you might imagine. There's a lot of room for error while still getting the cue ball to head back towards the stack. This shot's worth knowing. Okay, it's time for shot 2. It's still the same match, but now it's heel-heel. The score was 0-0, but Bustamante has just run 2 balls and failed to bust the stack. That leaves him here, way up table, and 2 straight in for comfort. So that's it. What do you think Bustamante would shoot from here? Well, do you have it figured out? If not, now it's time to pause and take a further look. Here is option 1. He could possibly draw back with a little finesse and wind up here. It's a touchy little shot, and you only shape 1 ball up there. No thanks. I think if he had a little more angle, this might be the play. The 8 and the 12 appear to go past the 6, but it's tight. And here's his actual shot. Compared to most of the other shots I've put on here, this looks simple, but it demonstrates a great point about One Pocket. He perfectly demonstrates when to be aggressive. He could have easily just cinched the 13 and bunted some ball near his hole, but he didn't. He knew if he could get shape on a ball in that stack, he could likely run out. He only needs 6 balls, there are 5 in the stack, and the 14 is free mid-table. He knew if he shaped that 3, the match was likely over, and that is exactly what happened. He would go on to run out for the match win. One Pocket is a game of risk versus reward. If there is very little reward for a risky shot, you probably shouldn't play it. If you see a position where that risky shot could lead to the run out, it's worth consideration. And that's it for episode 4. As usual, like and subscribe. Hit me up in the comments if you have any suggestions. If you like these videos and would like to see more, click the Patreon link in the description.